Anyway, enough of that kind of talk, you know.
Well, actually, let's get back just for a second for the practice app. So,
Please.
Yeah, because I remember seeing some stuff about James on that, and then saw that you had other people on that. So, what kind of was the driving force behind you creating this app, and where do you see this going? What is your ultimate why for this?
Yeah. So I've always been a big fan of education, and a few years ago, there's a organization here in Southern California called SCSBOA, Southern California School Band and Orchestra Association, and it's sort of like the Midwest Band Conference, or that kind of thing, right? Big thing in Southern California. So they asked me to do a big presentation, and they gave me a bunch of time, and they said, hey, we've never done this, but we want you to do like 2 sessions back to back. And so I said, great. And so with brainstorming, I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of topics in a hat, and I'm just going to have band directors pull topics out, and we're just going to talk about them, right? And we're going to use it as a source of just conversation. So one of the topics was your rhythm section needs to either rob a liquor store together or go camping together. And just and so then we would go, let's talk about it, rhythm sections. Let's talk about why the symbiosis needs to happen. And then they pull out a topic and they say trumpet mutes. Oh, okay. And we go, how many of you band directors have issues with, your kids don't know how to use mutes? But, so I did this huge education conference. And I remember after it, I got so many compliments. People were like, oh my God, I wish I had 10 episodes of a podcast to watch on each one of those things with you hosting it. And it was really cool and really informative from a professional, but you're also an educator, blah, 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 blah. So that kind of started dripping into my head, like, maybe I should do something more with this, because there are, as you know, million situations where you get some young, 23-year-old, wide-eyed, dewy-eyed, there's some amazing program in Michigan or something, and the band director's 70 and he's had this award-winning band for 70 years or something. And here comes, little Katie Wallflower from Muskegon or something, and but now she has this new job and she doesn't know anything about playing the congas, and she has to prepare, how do they learn about these things? Right. So I thought, man, wouldn't this be cool if there was a source? So that started dripping into my brain. And then a friend of mine called me, a really good friend who I hadn't talked to in 2 years, and he ran a multi-million-dollar company. And he goes, hey, I got this idea. And he goes, what if we do a webinar thing, maybe with you and Arturo and Wayne and some of these other guys? And I go, yeah, I think there'd be 11 people that would like that, in the world. But we started developing it, and then it turned into this thing called Practice. And so, like I said, we've got tons of money into it. We've got great investors and friends and people that believe in it. And it really is a spectacular thing. It's very representative of what I'm about. It's very inspiring, and it's light, and it's friendly, and it's not like large bodybuilders going, come on, it's not like a beach body kind of, it's very user friendly, that kind of thing. And so the hope is that we just keep expanding it. We've got more investors coming and more lessons coming, more artists coming, and people. And so we're pumped about it, man. And it's not just we have Olympic athletes. One of our Olympic athletes is a guy named Casey Patterson. Mm-hmm. This guy is the sweetheart of sweethearts. He's totally a phenomenal teacher, but I didn't even know who he was, but he's like a Michael Phelps. He's the greatest of all time kind of volleyball player. I didn't know. And until I started researching, I'm like, oh, this guy's a legend. He's a huge deal, mm-hmm. Olympic, whatever, So anyway, so that's our goal, is to just keep doing more of it, and to inspiring students and just any people of any age that say, hey, listen, I want something new. I want something to walk me through, something to look forward to after my 14-hour shifts as a nurse, and I want to learn how to paint, or I want to learn the harp or the clarinet, or yoga or whatever. And so we're excited to present this thing. It's a really beautiful thing. The platform is phenomenal. We've got the most amazing teachers in the world. For people that are out there that know Masterclass, it's like that, but different, Yeah.
Well, just check the link in the show notes, and that will take you right to the Practice app, and you can see what what Willie and the crew have got cooked up for you.
Beautiful, man.
And that's to me, this is so important because I've been over the past few years, I've developing online content. Obviously, I'm doing this podcast as well, utilizing technology basically to reach people that need sources. And as I've said many times on this podcast, the backstory of this is that I've learned so much as a musician. Obviously, also as a martial artist, is the same thing. I learned so much during the hangs. And I really just feel like, and especially with COVID times, this is a perfect example because none of us can get out there and go to like an ITG or something like that and just, be in a conference for a week and just hang and talk. So even when things were open, like you're saying, there's Katie Wallflower from Muskegon who has never had a chance to fly to LA or to fly to New York and to get into the in crowd, as it were, to talk to the movers and shakers. So this is an opportunity for people to get mentored by people who are really performing at the highest level possible.
And I gotta say again, man, when I saw your email, I was like, absolutely, I want to be a part of this. Anybody, especially during this COVID time, that's saying, hey, I want to reinvent myself, or I want to further myself, or I want to better myself, and I'm going to do it by adding, a podcast or working on a video series or whatever practice series or whatever you're doing. Man, you're an inspiration to us all, Jose, because just getting off your duff and saying, let's just keep pushing on the ocean, because that's really what we're doing, and who knows where we're going or what we're doing, but it's all for, the glory of hopefully something better and our enjoyment along the way. And so the fact that you're doing this is a beautiful thing, and I really am grateful to you.
Well, thanks, and I appreciate what you're doing with the practice app, because man, that's good stuff. Practice is my middle name. So
yeah, me too.